Hello people of the verse and welcome to the channel. It's the Eradicator, and in this video we are going to talk about the Xeno threat event in Star Citizen of 3.12.1, which is currently in the PTU open for everyone. So if you have a game package and access to Star Citizen, you may jump in and also experience it for yourself whenever there is a playtest available, which was the case yesterday night. I was really lucky. It was about 10 p.m. I was able to give it a try, and so in this video I'm going to give you my honest opinion and also a couple of tips. Now, the first thing that you should know is that this event is taking place near Macrotech, around Macrotech L1. So that means that if you are near one of the other planets, Hurston, Arcorp or Crusader, it is best that you go to the station at Macrotech L1, the rest stop over there, and this is going to be your spawning point, because I tried going to Jericho, and which is the military station that is under attack by the Xeno threats, and unfortunately over there's no respawn point. This is just a place where you can drop off some supplies, but it's not a civilian outpost, so you are not going to respawn there. So very important to go to the station here at Macrotech L1, which is going to be where you will respawn. Now, the other thing that I'm going to say here is, you can see I'm flying a caterpillar. The reason why I'm flying a caterpillar to go to Mikhail 1 is not because I'm going to fill the caterpillar with the supplies that I'm going to pick up at the wreckages later. We're going to talk about that later, further on the line. No, that's because the caterpillar is the fastest ship that I have. Very important. Let's remember the servers are not that stable. I originally went to Mikhail 1 with a Mercury Star Runner, and unfortunately there was a 30k just a few million kilometers away from Mikhail 1. I was very frustrated because I flew all the way from Crusader. That's 53 million kilometers. I had to do it all over again. If I had taken a caterpillar, I would have arrived before the 30k, and I would not have had to do the way all over again. So keep that in mind. If you're going to make L1, you never know, right? You don't want to get the frustration of doing the trip a second time. Take the fastest ship you have. Now, the next tip I'm going to give here, I think it's very important to be prepared. This is a multiplayer event. There's going to be maybe the entire server right there at the event taking part of this exciting, exciting opportunity to play all together, have common objectives. So it's also maybe going to be a very attractive spot for griefers too. So be equipped. Come with some friends. Do not get there alone, and it's very important that you also have a different mindset than when you are doing your lone wolves activity in the verse. This is a completely different experience that we've had before, and I'm going to talk about that later further down the line. But here, speaking of being prepared, this is not just going to be flying around. You are going to eventually have to recover some boxes here, some Zeta, Prolonide, Acryliplex, and Deuterothermox. This is not really easy to pronounce, right? But these are basically materials that are going to be required by the UEE for the refurbishing of the Javelin, which is located at the Jericho station. And of course there are going to be Xeno threats NPCs in the wreck. Now, it's also possible that other players may kill them before you arrive, but nevertheless you may need some weapons, you may need some med pens, and also I think that you also are going to need a tractor beam. Why is that? It's because some of the boxes, you don't have the regular boxes over there. These are different types of commodities that all are special. One of them doesn't like quantum travel, one of them doesn't like damage, and one of them doesn't like time. You need to get to Jericho as quickly as possible if you fill your ship with some of those commodities. So you must also know exactly what you are going to carry. As far as I'm concerned, I went there, I was a totally virgin, I had no idea, and when I went back to Jericho station, my two boxes that I picked up were damaged, and Jericho station did not accept any of those. So that kind of sucked, but at the same time that's my fault because I was not prepared. Speaking of being prepared, I mentioned the tractor bin. You see those big boxes there in the cargo hall of the Starfarer. That's the reason why you need a tractor beam because you simply can't carry them with your own hands. And so getting a tractor beam, putting them inside the cargo hold of your ship is going to also significantly get the task done faster rather than getting all those little individual boxes one by one. So that's also a good tip. You're going to get the objective faster, get to the next phase, which we were not able to do during the playtest I took part in, and it is also going to be much more effective. So very important to get a tractor beam. I know I'm repeating myself, but just want to make sure that all of you guys understand the importance here of that particular tool. Alright, the next tip here at Jericho Station, I was looking for maybe a specific dedicated pad, an ATC. There's no ATC here, just land wherever you can on one of the dedicated pads, which is where cargo is going to be delivered. Just leave your ship and go to one of the two areas where they are going to drop cargo. Now, very interestingly here, the same security measures that you would normally apply at a located outpost, a located trade outpost, right, apply here as well. I thought, hey, we're all in the same boats here. Surely, we all have a common objective of getting those commodities to Jericho stations. No one is going to steal my ship. Well, oh boy, I was wrong, because when I went back from the delivery area, went back to my ship was gone, and someone had stolen my ship because I had left the ramp on, and this was a mistake. So also do not do that. You never know, maybe you have a ship that may be attractive to other players as well. They may take it, and that would leave you stranded here at Jericho Station, so be very mindful of that. Now, once you get off your ship, just walk towards one of those delivery areas over there, right? They do have some terminals, which is where you're going to sell what is inside your ship. You don't need to do like me. I was carrying one of the boxes, which is basically junk. I didn't know, right? Just leave them in your ship, and they are going to be sold, so to speak, to the terminal, just like any regular trade area at other places. Now, of course, gonna have to be careful to see whether or not the boxes you have are damaged or not. What I'm carrying here is just junk. I had no idea, of course, and if your cargo is damaged and thus unusable for the military, they are just not going to take it. Also, if you're not seeing your ship in a terminal, it's not because it's broken, it's because someone stole your ship, which is what happened in that particular playtest. I was being very noobish. It's like, oh no, the terminal is not working, and then when I left, I realized that my ship was no longer there anymore. So yeah, again, be careful, close your ramp. Alright, the next thing I want to address here is griefers. I know a lot of people are annoyed because there are players out there who do not come to the event to help, they come here to kill the players. And I think, for one, that this is fine. I know that this is not going to be a popular opinion. I am not here to win a popularity contest. I am here to be as honest as possible. And again, this is what I think. I think it's okay if players in a multiplayer game, this is a PvP game, it's a multiplayer game, this is not Euro Truck Simulator 2, this is not City Skylines, okay guys, this is a multiplayer game, and there are people who are going to come here and they're looking for a fight. Think of, maybe they want to be siding with Xeno threat. It's also a possibility, right? Maybe they're just outlaws, they're just anti-social people. They don't like the UEE, they don't like the verse as a whole. They're just here to create trouble. There are people like that in real life as well. That's why I'm saying, guys, be prepared. And it's important that you are not coming there as a lone wolf. If you do that, that's going to be you are going to be an easy target for those people. It's very important to be part of a group. Talk to people in the chat. Can you multi-crew? Can you be in parties? And there were people in the chat saying, hey, I've got a hammerhead, who wants to crew that hammerhead, and we're going to protect the area. And that is the way to go. If you have bigger ships, multi-crew those bigger ships, protect the areas from those griefers. Those griefers are going to stay away, or at best they're going to try to take down the bigger ships, while the smaller ships are going to be left alone, and these are the guys who are going to be able to carry those valuables back to the javelin. So be mindful over there. Again, there are people who are going to be hostile. It is the way. It is a multiplayer game, and it is totally fine in my opinion. Just play differently. This is not your regular trade run. This is an actual event that is attracting a lot of people, including people who are going to be hostile to you. Now the last tip I'm going to give today is regarding the attack on the javelin here. Sometimes Xeno threat is going to mount an assault on Jericho station to try to destroy the javelin that is docked there, and it is going to bring an Idris. There are also going to be some escort fighters too. Of course, you're not going to be the only one killing those escort fighters. Be mindful of friendly fire eventually, especially if you are doing that inside the tiny little monitored zone, right? Which also includes an armistice zone. You may eventually get a crime stat. Now this is something that happened to me, and I was not even doing any friendly fire. I was even defending the station, but I was defending the station within the armistice zone. This is something that for some reason in the current PTU right now you can't do. I think this is a mistake here on CIG's part. I think it's very important that CIG here maybe removes the armistice zone, or at least in that particular area make it so that players do not get a crime stat if they defend the station. This is something that I think I've read that the devs are working on, right? So it's going to change in the future, but unfortunately there are players here who are getting crime at once for defending the station. This is also something that happened to me for being a little bit too overzealous over there, so be careful if you don't want to get a crime stat, which is going to set you back all the way to Grim X if you die. Well, the good thing is that since everybody is at Microtech L1, right, nobody is going to be at SPK to kill you if you want to get rid of your crimes. So I guess that's maybe good news, right? But nevertheless, be very careful here. If you are in the armistice zone, do not open fire. Wait until you are out of it and then destroy those Xeno threat ships. Overall, I thought that the event was quite fun. I personally, again, I don't mind the griefers. I think it's very important to have a different mindset, a different approach to the event rather than your regular Star Citizen activities. I think that the frames were also pretty good during the event. I had no frame drop issues, especially during the big battles where there were lots of players against a lot of NPCs. No problem there at all. I had one 30k error, but then after I got to another server, everything also ran quite smoothly, so I also wanted to mention that too. That's all for this video, guys. I'm really looking forward to that being in the PU. I hope also that the event is going to be a little bit more persistent, right? I hope that it's not just going to be just at one particular time at a certain hour, which is not necessarily convenient to everyone. I hope that they are going to have different events at different times, at different time zone, in different server or geographical region. That would also be nice. And that's all for this video, guys. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Get to the PTU. Try the Xeno threat event if you can. It's a lot of fun. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Star Citizen content. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. This video is brought to you by the people who support this channel on Patreon and via the join button as well. Supporters of the channel get access to lots of cool perks such as access to my private Discord, your question answered in the show, you get to know when I'm going to play, and also you get to have a chance to influence the editorial line of the channel. Any help is appreciated, starts at just $1 a month. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Eradicator, and I'll see you guys later.